Alright, so up next we have a new experiment for me. And that is, I decided to go Russian. So I decided to go Soviet in this to fight against the Wehrmacht. And we're going up against Boris over here. So, Soviets was kind of new. I played the Stalingrad campaign years ago, and I forgot that, oh, we gotta build new points. And so yes, good luck, have fun. Always good luck, have fun. So it's a good way to try to keep good sportsmanship in the game. So this one was still very new to me. Like I said, I haven't played much Soviet, and I thought, you know what? After my inconsistent results with the American troops, I thought, you know what? Let's go ahead and try some Soviet. I thought they get 6 guys per unit. That's a huge plus. It means more. Now, unfortunately, I think for me, I kind of use them a lot to rush points, which I guess that it's probably not very good, but we'll see. We'll see. So the fun thing about single player is you have to take all the points yourself. At least with co-op, when you're playing with a friend, you don't have to take the whole field. And man, the early game takes a lot longer to start. But one thing I definitely wanted to do was I wanted to take the flanks. I thought, you know what? Let's go for the fuel nodes. I want to take the north. I don't know why I felt like that one was more mine, but in the end, it's kind of just got to take one of them, and so I took one of them. So up here we have our combat engineer squad. For the Soviets, are actually pretty good, but they're conscript infantry. That's their default unit, and they're pretty good. I can't remember which one of the groups I end up picking. I think it was the Soviet Shock Army. It's either that one or it's the Guard. Maybe the Guard. I think it's the Guard. So I haven't decided yet because there's some flexibility. But either way, I took these 2 northern points and I thought, I've got 2 units here. I might as well just keep pushing. So lo and behold, there was the German engineering squad. They're, I keep calling them engineers, but they're pioneers. They're pioneers. I thought, we don't really have to engage here. It's okay, let's fall back. After all, I'm taking fuel down here. But I have 2 of these combat engineering squads, and one of the things I don't really like about the Russians is they have to build their own upgrade points. The Americans, they just upgrade to a lieutenant or a captain, and they get that. So that was kind of a bummer, but I thought, that's probably a balancing thing, so I should probably just go ahead and take points. Or go ahead and just, roll with it, see how it works out, play with it. So I also took this point, and I am taking this final point. And, at this point in the game, I'm thinking to myself, this is awesome. I haven't taken these 2, but I can take them pretty much any time. But I was like, this is fantastic. I'm just taking these points. This guy must be just an absolute noob. Now, I'm going to kind of give you a spoiler. Last game, you heard me complain. Not really complain, but just kind of be frustrated a little bit with the Germans having so many machine guns. Well, look up here. Our friend up here has built no infantry. Nothing. But he has built 4 MG squads. And, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna, that's not gonna go well for me. I don't think I even have Molotovs yet. Oh, I do have Molotovs. Oh, shoo, that's good. But yeah, MGs are not very good on the offense, right? They have to set up and deploy. But, oh boy. Oh boy. So, okay, here's their Pioneer squads. They've got those MP40s that are pretty good, but they're not like heavy infantry. As you can tell, they're not doing a ton of damage to my guys. It did kill some, but I think this building had an MG in it, which is why I got pinned. So annoying getting pinned. So annoying. So that's where the Molotov comes in. That's helpful. Bringing up more conscripts. That's also helpful. Just keep pushing. And, oh, if they'd stayed a second longer, they would have neutralized the fuel for me. That would have been such a good move on their part. Yep, got close. Had to make sure they didn't take the fuel. The big thing I feel like for the Russians, at least my philosophy at this point, there's that MG. Gotta love the MG. 2 MGs, oh my goodness, that's a good way to get pinned. Yeah, I got some MP40s there. And I got the red piping. If I remember red piping, what's that? I can't remember. I know for US, red typically means artillery. I don't remember for the Germans. It's been a long time since I actually knew that stuff. But, what was I saying? Oh yeah, taking fuel nodes. I felt like that my whole philosophy was For the Russians, get a lot of infantry, but not like a ton of infantry. Get a lot of infantry. And most importantly, you've got to get tanks. That's really what I felt like the whole point of the Russians was. And I don't know if that's actually right. Like I said, I'm trying to learn that. And feel free to let me know if I'm wrong. I mean, very well could be wrong. I do not claim to be an expert on this at all. As a matter of fact, part of the reason I'm making these videos is so that I can tell you all my thoughts process. And people online can say, hey Duke, you're an idiot. It's obviously not how it works. Kind of like just charging with Russian infantry. Hey, let's just bonsai this, and people kind of bonsai check me. But, you know, I really wanted to try something that worked better. Okay, so I got my mortar squads out here, and this is I believe the standard. Yeah, it's 82 millimeter mortar squads. This is a good way of countering. Now, I think I've gotten a little better now with my micro for using mortars. Okay, so I was using it there. Good. Okay. Up here we're losing the fuel node. It's very apparent to me that the Germans want fuel, and a lot of it. They're trying to... That was a very loud oorah. But it's very apparent to me that they really, really, really are trying to take all the fuel. As you can tell there, I'm winning the long-range fight. I will win that fight. But I was just like, you know, I need to deal with this. Over here, they took the center point, or they're taking it. And now they came around my mortar squad. They did not like my mortar team. Now, I do like the fact the Russians have 6 guys in most of their units. To me, that is super helpful. Just because they have the ability to not have squad wipes so often. Now, I do think the counter to that is I have a tendency to just assume that, hey, there's 6 of them. They can stay longer, right? They're not going to die. Which is not true. The longer I stay, the more likely they get killed. So, retaking this point, again, I don't really know if putting 2 units on there is faster. It does look like it's a little faster, so I always get nervous though because of mortars. But early game, I imagine it's fine. Alright. So as you can see, I'm not doing great. I'm not doing bad. The other team, man, he's got 1 guy on an MG. Man, I feel like that's kind of cheating with the mortar squads. But at the same time, you look in history and there's plenty of guys who, whole machine gun crew died. And what did they do? They took over that machine gun and held a point. So part of me is like, I don't know if that's fair, but it is what it is. I do think that this is a mistake for our opponent, Boris. I think that's kind of a mistake to not have taken this point. And I don't know if he realized he hadn't taken that. I know he only has a certain number of units, but I think he should have probed that. I mean, he's got an MG here. Like, we know that. So I'm actually going to undo Fog of War. He's got this MG right here. Even if he just shifted it and then he brought 1 infantry unit, like this one, down here to see my reaction, he'd be fine. Now, I did push back on the fuel node, and maybe that's what he figured, but he's losing points unnecessarily. You know? And I feel like that may have been a mistake, and it may have been something he wasn't paying attention to be fair. So my mortar's back in position. Time to shell. I got an MG40. It is not an MG42. It's a 1910 Maxim machine gun. I put it here, trying to protect my mortar from infantry coming around the side. Now, something I learned the hard way later is apparently when he's prone, he shoots the wall. So, there we go. They finally moved in. That was a well-timed grenade. Very well-timed grenade. What kind of nade is that? That is a bundle model 24. Very nice. Very nice. 120mm mortars are now available for deployment. Alright, so at this point I went ahead and selected the guard motor coordination tactics. As I have said, I feel like it's a mistake most of the time not getting some sort of barrage you can bring in, kind of like this barrage here, the sector artillery. I feel like you need something. Because when you get nothing, you have no way, like right here, if I had something later in the game, I could just send that on the Germans, and they'd have to scramble or they'd lose a lot of guys. But every time I push here, I keep running into these 4 MGs. I mean, Boris is clever. You hear all that whistling? All those mortars coming in. Ah, yay. I love losing troops. But right over here, these mortars are so painful to kill. This guy likes his mortars. And he's got the mobile mortars, which means I'm having to pack up and run. Did I run? Yeah, I'm having to pack up and run. He can just retreat on his half track. Get out of there. So, anyway, he's shelling the wrong area, so I said, you know what, time to take the center point. This whole game, it's not about winning every fight. It's all about winning just that individual thing. You know, taking those points and going from there. So, alright, well, that's cool. Next, idle vehicle. Cool, action. Never looked at these things. Player stats. Menu. Well, of course, menu's good. Tactical map. Alright. So I took this point, and now I tried to take a point, pull back from the point. It's like, get out of there. There you go. It's smart, in my opinion, to just try to keep your distance. I knew that Boers had a strong presence down at the south because of all the MGs we dealt with. The mortar half-tracks are there. So I was like, okay, we're going to hold the middle and we're going to hold the north. The north has one conscript squad up here. They can field off another unit pretty good because they also have the combat engineers as a reserve. So, I mean, that's good. But there's a lot of lulls like this. But as you can see, I'm basically winning, right? I mean, I've only lost 12 points out of my 500. Boris has lost almost half. But then here comes the smoke, which I think this is my first experience with seeing the smoke here. I'm like, well, that's kind of an interesting little dealy-do. And lo and behold, what happens? Suddenly, I will start losing this point. There it goes. My guys can barely shoot. There's a little bit of ability to shoot. And I have to counter. I have to send guys in. It looks like I've got some guards and everything. I have to approach. And I should have gotten in that circle, but I put a Molotov instead. Which I get, because the Molotov does good. But see, the Russians do not do well at this range. There's that bundle charge. I close the distance. Got an MG42 over here on the left. They have mortar squads using smoke and mortar shells because he's got multiple of those things. Now, to be fair, I am mortaring as well. I've got a mortar squad here that is also shelling. So whoever's on the point will get hurt. And I think it's just neutralized. Or no, they're actually taking it. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a noob on this. So that's not good. Up here we got a flamethrower half-track. I did use the anti-tank. I forget what it's called. The infantry have a kind of a contact thing they can throw. That did hurt them. So that was a plus. Looks like I pulled my pioneers away. I don't know where they went. Actually, I'm selecting the wrong thing. There they are. They're still there. Watching their friends burn, and they're like, okay, I approve.
AT gun is ready for combat.
So I got an anti-tank gun because they already have the half-track. Alright, we've got to prep for these flame half-tracks. Those things are really effective against infantry, and especially if you don't have bazookas or anything to handle those. It's something you got to have. Now, the guards infantry here, I know I say now a lot, and if that's annoying, I'll try to stop. But the guards infantry have the PTRDs or whatever. I guess that's what it is. And it is an anti-tank, anti-light armor gun. And it will do a decent job. I think it does some effective work here. Panzerschreck's down. Pick that up. Please pick it up. Please. No. We just looked at it and said, that's fascinating. Very fascinating. You know what? I think that body's American. Just saying. Based on his uniform. I know the game's like Hell Let Loose. Like if you play the Soviets, at least last time I played, if you play the Soviets and someone gets killed by artillery and all that, the animation, they blow up and all that, but their body turns into an American. So if you look really closely, the animation's actually, he's got leggings and he's got all the stuff that the Americans have. It's actually kind of funny. Which, I mean, how many people have actually noticed that? Like nobody? So why do the more animation, more graphics, and having to redo that, reskin that, when you don't have to? So anyway, I made a push at the bottom here, and clearly that push did not end well for me, because he still has his machine guns, he still has his mortar half-tracks. I have a lot of infantry. I have an anti-tank gun. I can't move up an anti-tank gun to take out their half-tracks, because they have machine guns. So, what is the next logical step? The next logical step, my friends, is to build, I think it's the tank UOV. I don't know if I know how to pronounce that. Oh yeah, mobilized reserves. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but yes, it's time to. That's the light tanks, and there's one more. Is it this one, the regimental? As you can tell, I have all these memorized. It's either this one or it's no, it's the last one, and to get the heavy tanks out. I think the light tanks run into some of the MGs can destroy them, so I was kind of afraid of using light tanks. Look at all these mortars, man, it's so annoying. But anyway, he used smoke, so I used smoke. I thought, okay. Oh, good hit. Good hit. Good hit. Good hit. One more hit. He didn't notice. He did not notice. Watch this. Boom. Yes, that was a very good kill. Yes. Order of linen for all of you. Oh, maybe that was probably too high of a reward. Anyway, spotted the MGs. Spotted that. It's time to go ahead and just use my mortars. The problem is every time I use my mortars, he uses his mortars. So he can move around faster than I can. So I'm trying to retake this point. My mortar's out of position. I cannot use smoke. He's pushing his pioneers up. He's getting right into the middle of the enemies and the MP40s. I'm basically penned. So, I mean, I'm having to retreat. He's now retaking the point. Their mortars are now, you know, just shooting everything. That was an excellent mortar hit. Holy moly, that was good. So I got a new mortar team in the game. More smokes up. That's probably from me. Or it's from him, actually. It looks like it's from him. Oh, dude. Can't see through that, but man alive. I did not realize this was going that poorly. As you can tell, his mortars are absolutely kicking me around. So I'm still trying to use my mortars to take that out. Just that they're so inaccurate. So, more time push. Of course, I don't have any smokes. I'm getting my second mortar team in place. This is the big one. It's one of the special ones that came with this particular guy. It's a 120mm mortar. So they're very powerful. Incendiary round hit my mortar team there. Retreat, retreat, retreat. Ah, you know what? It's okay. They're burned to death. Oh, there they go to death.
We have lost the mortar crew.
We have lost the mortar crew. And I guess those flame mortar shells come from their half tracks. I guess. I don't really know. Like I said, I haven't played German yet, because from my experience, most people play German, and I kind of figure, well, somebody's got to play the Allies. I mean, I could be totally wrong. I don't know. But let's see. So the mortar, I did see the MG pull back just now, so that is a plus. I did take the point, so there's no point in pushing up. So at this point, it's all about refitting, rearming these guys. Like go back, run now. I have the medical folks out here. The field infirmary to heal them up, because with the fire and all that, if you don't heal them up, they will die. And this is critical. This is the one I was talking about. The mechanized armor Campanella. I don't speak Russian, so I do my best to pronounce it, but the pronounce is only so much so good. Yeah, so the way I say it is how you get it. That's all I can tell you. But anyway, it's the one that brings about the heavy tanks. Now, the nice thing about the guard motor coordination tactics is it does come with a T-34-85. So it is a more powerful version of the T-34 that the Russians get by default. And I did like that because I thought if I'm buying a tank, I'd like to get one that's slightly better. So the standard one is, where is it? There we go, 3476. So the gun is slightly smaller. So this is an 85, this is a specialty, and the default one is a 76. So like, yeah, let's do a better one. Problem is this one's 90 fuel, and the other one's 130. So the Russians have this decent advantage with being able to spam. They're doing their push with the smoke again, but being able to spam tanks. They really can spam tanks. I need to look and see how much it costs the Germans to get that. After this fight, I'll do that. So he moved up his half track. I think this was not intentional. My guess is that may have been a misclick, or he's going for my deeper mortars. Probably going for deeper mortars. I'm trying to take that point. Again, it's all about taking the points. Come on, anti-tank gun. Don't burn to death. So I'm getting on that point. He backed up. He got a hit somewhere. Something hit him. It may have been my mortar doing some counterfire. Of course, I'm having to move. I always used to try to use cover for my mortars, but this guy taught me that, you know, Boris here saying, you know what, you can't stay in one place. It's okay to sit out in the open. Took the point. That is so critical. Anti-tank gun got a good hit there. Finally. Alright, so let's look at our German friend here and look at some of his stuff real quick and see if he... the German default tanks, so the Flak-Panzer, so their medium tank, Panzer IV is 120. So you can genuinely spam mortar teams, just keep trying to move, and This MG, I was guarding my flank with this, and he never pushed the flank. He just mortared me to death. Now, the plus side is I am winning. That's what I kept having to remind myself. You are winning. You aren't going to lose this game if you keep doing what you're doing. I got a T-34 coming out on the field. He's got a Panzer IV, it looks like, coming out on the field. So we're both getting tanks at the same time. So this is good. I mean, this is actually a fairly even match, other than the fact that I just held so many points for so long. But apparently he got tired of my tank gun. He said, that is ridiculous, man. So he throws another one of the nades. Watch that just absolutely get annihilated. And there he goes. Retreat, run. So now he sends a unit in. And this is something I think is totally underrated in the game. Send a unit in that's new, run in, spot where everything is, and then target it. So of course see, look at that. He saw where these guys were, and he's starting to just shell me. I brought in my combat engineer squad, pick up the gun again, which is good. But again, it's not the full 6. That 6 is so critical because that nade wiped out 4, I think it was. So yeah, this mortar's still here, and this is a 76. So this is not the best one, but I thought I am going to push my advantage, and then said, you know what? I don't think I will. I don't know why I didn't do that. Oh, there we go. That's a nice hit. Got that mortar. I think he was going for this mortar and killed it. Yeah, 120 millimeter. That hurt. And watch this just get absolutely wasted. Oh, he's backing his Panzer. I'm running away with my Panzer. I had to. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh no. Well, out of all the mistakes all of us made, okay, at least he got hit once. Out of all the mistakes I made, at least it wasn't too embarrassing, I think. I don't know, what do y'all think? Should I be embarrassed? Probably shouldn't. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. I know better. It's one of those things where people are like, you know better than that. Yeah, you're right, I do. So one of their MGs is down to 1 man, which has to be, I'm guessing that's probably this one over here, because I did notice earlier, I don't know if I remember saying it, but I did notice that he fully refits. So my bet is that's my mortars that were doing some counter fire. So, one of the things that I find fascinating in this game, yay, they're going to counter my mortars. That was a bad idea to just start shelling. Yeah, look at that. Bye. And I said, here comes my tank. Here comes my tank. I am taking this thing out. I don't care what happens. I am taking it out. And I shot it, and it's just like, nah, it's... So... right here, it's destroy that. Okay, that was a good kill. That MG can't hurt me. I saw this and I thought, well, that's unfortunate. So, time to get out of here. His tank moved up. Should have been turning his tank guns. But I thought, there's no getting out of here now. So I'm taking out another mortar. I don't care what happens. I'm getting out of the mortar. Got a hit on that. And then, of course, I got destroyed. I think that was a fair trade. He's down, he had 3 of those. He's down to 1 now. And that was critical because he was using those to attack. Oh man, I wasn't paying attention up here. It looks like this is the second time I wasn't paying attention. Apparently I lost all my guys up there. Okay, the guards are still here. I lost my combat engineers. Well, that's a bummer. And he took the point. These guys are like, oh, thank goodness we weren't on the other side of that wall. We would have got killed. So I did notice. Ow. Oh, no, no. Oh, no. That is bad. That was bad. That was a good nade. Boris, well done. Well done, my friend. Well done. So, in the end, I lost my tank. He still has his tank. But I do have 2 anti-tank guns. He has 2 anti-tank guns. Thing is, he can't really push me. He lost his extra half-track. Right? So losing that half-track, or extra 2 half-tracks, losing that really kind of puts him behind. And my bet is he's probably trying to save up for those to replace them. He's doing this little isolated approach, probably thinking, you know, if I can get in here and spot where things are, I'll get my mortar working again. And this MG, look at that. He's just shooting the wall. And here they come. Look at that. Look at that. That's so bad. That is so bad for me. And I left these guys here. I bet you they die. Down to 2. Hey, what did that wagon ever do to you? I think I had a point that I was talking about, and I don't even remember what it is now. Anyway, I moved these 4 guys to take up this. They need to take it. My guards are already back here, being refitted, getting ready to get back in the fight. Combat engineers are. I mean, it's a rough Rough fight, yep. At least they fell back instead of just saying, you know what, we're going to rout. So, good thing for me is I'm still holding those 2 points, right? That was a good guess. That was a very good guess. Those motor shells are pretty. I lost another guy. And there it goes. Bye. Run away.
Enemy has silenced one of our
Oh
anti-tank
my
guns.
goodness, that was a well-placed mortar. Holy moly. You know, if this was Call of Duty, you'd be like, walls, he's hacking. Aimbotter. No, he's not aimbotting. Yeah. No, that was a very good guess. I mean, that's kind of where I've been leaving things anyway. Plus, if you just fire one shell, you see where things are. He's also got a second one in now. So he's making a big push over here again. My guards are back. I picked up the Panzerschreck this time.
Attempting to capture our territory.
Let's see what happens. Flamethrower is a good choice. I like the guards infantry because they actually have hand grenades. There's good nades there. Okay, so that unit's out. I'm sending these guys back. So it's now 5v3. And it looks like he's retreating. Ooh. Whose mortar is that? That was my mortar. Nice. I think. Yeah, that was my mortar. So the guards came in clutch there. They came in really close. That was a good little fight. Yeah, and see, my mortar fired, and he said, hey, I know your mortars have this inability to move around, so I'm just going to make your life miserable. See? Goodness gracious, those are so good. So what is his force's abilities at command tank, the mortar half-track, forward supply station, relief infantry? Really not actually sure how to use that. And then sector artillery. That artillery, I think he probably should use a little more of. So I'm counter mortaring. See, he's really, I like this. He's really, ooh, nice hit. Man, that thing has range. That thing has a lot of range. Holy moly. Come on, spot it. Fire, fire, fire. Nice. Okay, that was pretty cool. Holy moly, that thing's got range. I did not realize it was that good. Really, really. That's a pretty good range. Okay, so he's moved up here with the tank, his tank, one of his 2 tanks. So these guys are technically anti-tank, but they cannot cut it. So how do you deal with tanks? I'm pretty sure I pull one of these guns up to the north. Yeah, there we go. Probably should have taken a 6-man, but anyway, one tank. A tank cannot take a point. They cannot do that. So I was waiting for infantry to appear, which, oh man, I love that. It's kind of a way of seeing where stuff is happening. I almost wonder if the game should have, when destruction happens outside of the screen, if, and I don't know if Company of Heroes 3 will do this either, because you can kind of see where a tank disappears to, or if it's coming in a direction by that. But if it was off screen, if it keeps it that way, kind of like the sectors, I've never seen them, so I assume they're neutral. So if I thought, okay guys, take that cover, they run up there and the cover's gone. How that would work out, that would be, oh dear, we have no more cover. Like, that's a problem. Alright, so get out of here. Anti-tank guns with amazing range. Looks like I brought both of them up here. That was actually a smart idea. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And that hurts bad.
The enemy has 100 points remaining.
So I took out that gun. I knew his infantry was nearby. I don't actually remember building this. I brought a tank destroyer. I guess I figured it was take out his tanks, but I didn't realize how good my anti-tank guns were. Actually, watching this replay, I didn't realize how much damage they were doing. Because my pop is 82, his is 72. I mean, there's a reason I'm still holding this point. Oh, what a nice lead time on that. That was well done. Okay, so I'm pushing up here. Let's get a little bit better view of this. Molotov, he saw that coming. See that the Russians, if you get in this close range, that flamethrower is good. But that close range, the full package don't do as well. But these guys are too busy because there's not much they can do now. That is not infantry. That mortar is one of mine. So I'm retaking that point. We're going to jump down here because he's trying to neutralize this. I do not want that to happen because I was winning. But of course, every time I do this, I get pinned and I lose tons of guys because these mortars just start hitting. What I need to do is start using more smoke. But I did neutralize, or not neutralize, I did keep the point. Get out of there. Retreat. Retreat. Man, I'm so bad at this game. There we go. Phew. So, brought in the big tank. I thought, okay, we're going to actually show them how this game is played. So, Enemy has 100 points remaining. This has basically been a steamroll other than the annoying tanks, so... I mean, we were doing good here. So, smoke barrages, that's a good smoke barrage.
Taking what we have secured.
Okay, he's probably right there since I can't see it. And since I didn't see them, I guess I just didn't do anything. Okay, there goes my mortar. About an hour late, but it's still hitting. It's like, yay, they took the point. Go ahead. Oh, nice hit. Okay, so now we see them. Infantry's moving up. My MG's firing. MG-42 seems to have better suppression power than anything in the game. They are countering me very quickly. I'm moving up here. We're probably throwing a nade. Yeah, there's that nade. They had to get out. But again, what I keep doing is scout on point. Bring in the big tank. Alright, well, time to start actually doing some damage with this thing. Man, fired off. Man, what a great shot. Just kidding. Alright, good hit. Good hit. Take out that bunker. I mean, what I'm doing right now is taking the bunker. Ooh, good hit. That is not good. Now you got an anti-tank guns in the game. I lost the AT gun, of course, to the mortars that are just outstanding in every possible way. I lost a mortar as well, and I lost my tank. Wow, that was a good trade. Not. So while that's all going on, he's being smart. He brought a mortar up here, and he's fighting here. That was a well-placed hand grenade. Completely wiped out my unit. I am so exposed up here. I have a 2-man mortar crew, which is probably why his mortar half-track up here. Yeah, that's why they moved up. Watch this, I bet you I'll lose this unit. Ooh, still close. I think his flame mortars must cost munitions because he has very little munitions. Versus, look at me, 400 fuel, 1,000 munitions because I have no special abilities to use for the munitions, which is a real problem, I might add. Alright, so the engineers are back with flamethrowers. Conscripts are back. He's got his MG in the game. My mortars team over here got killed and ran off. So I'm trying to retake my point here. Use the flamethrower on the flanks. That's a good move. Okay. Gotta neutralize this because we're talking about points here. So now he's not gaining points. Right now it's a 1-1, so nothing is happening in the game. So here I thought, you know what? Let's try to take this out. So I started to plant a demolition charge, but no, we'll not do that. So go back, retake the point. I think pick up a bazooka here. That would be smart. So all told, it did well. I got my Katushka rockets. Now, Katushkas are basically that mobile strike. They don't cost any munitions to actually launch to, but that mobile strike is a good idea because of all these fixed positions. Now, they're not very good, like with the half-tracks. I think you'd just have to hit them outright. But honestly, if you get like 4 of those things, they can be good. But look at this. He's got 3 half-tracks. He's got 2 tanks. I'm not sure why that tank's not being repaired. But 2 anti-tank guns, 4 MGs, and 2 infantry. I mean, and he is just absolutely pummeling. He knew where my MGs were. I haven't moved them. So now I know where he is. It's time to pump him. Oh, okay. You want to play that game? I can shell you too. I mean, look at that. It is doing damage. Okay, destroy that bunker. Ooh, one more hit. See, if I had one more Katushka, that'd be pretty good. But he's putting his MGs here. And I didn't realize it then, but I see it now. The reason he's doing that is he just doesn't have any other kind of infantry. He's a very heavy MG mortar guy. He doesn't like you to push through, so he's more armor MG. But he neutralized that point so fast. I mean, before my guys can even respond, he's already taken the point. Now, this is where the Molotovs do pay off. I got around on his flank. That was good. His mortars are doing their thing. One more. Oh, look at that mortar. It killed so many. And I couldn't afford to lose it, so I thought, I just got to push forward. Took out his bunker. So let's just push forward. So that's a good kill. Another mortar half-track destroyed. And then fall back. And of course, what do? They say, okay, we'll just turn our back and just leave this gun right here, because that's just perfect. No should actually run when we can just die. Okay. That was totally not worth it. But I'm bringing more infantry in. It's fine. We've got it. I'll handle this. The MG is facing the other way, so I did flank, which is smart. Could not let him take this point. Had to get into the point. But again, Russians are not, they do not excel at close range. They don't. Okay, so neutralize his ability to take that point. But look at what I have. I have one MG, one tank, and one unit that I just sent back. I mean, I have an army, but my army's here. This doesn't help me. So it's neutralized. No one's gaining or losing anything right now. And that's what he needs. Now he's taking that point. So my Katushkas are back in the game. Ah, he pulled up an anti-tank gun. So he's doing a push with this tank. That's a good push. Picked up an anti-tank gun to deal with that tank. Still a Katushka in that. And where do you think he's headed? Ah, I remember this. Man, I was like, no, 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 no. I know where you're headed. You're going with my Katushka. You're diving my Katushka. No, 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 no. And watch that out. Man, that shell went right into the cab. And of course, now he's being my spawn. He killed a lot of guys there. So I'm like, well, he got spread out a little bit. So, of course, I'm bringing forward this. He's already taken the center, FYI. So I'm trying to spread out. It's costing me manpower that I don't have, but I just destroyed the engine. I was so happy when I saw this. I thought, yes, let's get a combat engineers out here, and let's repair that Panzer. We got ourselves a tank for free, boys. Especially since I had no manpower. Of course, fuel was not my problem. It was manpower that was the problem. I have this anti-tank gun. That's all I have on the field. I have a mortar team over here. I have my guards, and I have my engineers, my combat engineers, with the flamethrower. So I have troops, but I have no way of countering this. I don't hold this point anymore. There's nothing I can do. I don't know why that's glitching out and I can't see anything. But, yeah, you can hear if you listen very carefully.
Engineers ready for assignment.
You can hear the repair sounds. So they're repairing something. It's either that one or that one, I'm betting. Yeah, I'm actually going to take a peek here. Yeah, there it is. Repair that tank. Like, you did a good job. We're going to repair you. Oh, thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. These guys, on the other hand, apparently not good enough. They don't get repaired. I'm just kidding, Boris. It's a joke. So, I'm losing points right now. But one thing I know for sure, I cannot just rush this point with 500 infantry to take it. I was like, I'm going to try to take the anti-tank gun. And boy, was that gonna just that, wow. I was like, holy moly. But I thought my MG surely will do something. Lost an infantry unit. I was trying to push these guys, drive them back. The mortar, or he threw a nade. And I'm suppressed here. He threw a nade, killed them. Or he's killing them. These guys fell back, which I didn't realize were his only actual infantry. So it's 2v2 machine guns. Machine guns just duking it out. One there. I thought I was going to push. But then he used this artillery thing. Man, that kind of surprised me. Like, why on earth would you use artillery right there? But I guess I really scared him. I wonder if he thought I was getting close to some damage. I don't know. But I think that was kind of a... Oh, it's a sector artillery. Duh. The target's... Units entering a targeted sector are barraged. Okay, so it's not an offensive one. It's a defensive. That's why I used it. Ah, yeah. See, I'm smart. I'm learning the game. I'm learning the game. So I fell back. Still haven't taken the point. Still have not taken the point. So this is not very effective, not very helpful. But the main thing I'm trying to do is a lot of people I've noticed, I'm ahead by so many points. Even though I'm losing and he's not losing any points, I need to take my time. I need to repair this stuff. I need to get ready for a big fight and then make a large concerted push. Because I have 77, he has 76. But part of that is my tank, right? So if I go in there and just rush in there and lose my tank, what good does that do me? Like if I rush in there and lose another infantry unit, all I do is lose manpower that I don't have. So I've got to take time to make a genuinely strong push so that I can actually have a chance of winning. And that's key. And I think right now he's like, oh, thank goodness that Duke is not attacking. Because I can do a lot. I can pin him down. But, man, I need time to get, like, my flak and panzer in here. I think he saw I had so much infantry here. He thought, man, I need something that's an anti-infantry killer. you know. And to be fair, I don't blame him. That's a good idea. Go after the infantry. But yeah, I do like the graphics in this game. This is pretty impressive. I do like that. Okay, we're back in the fight. The lull is over. He ran over here. He saw me and he ran away. That's a good idea. Nothing's going on. Do a probing attack. This is something Jimbo and I were talking about a little bit, probably a week or so ago. So I was telling him, you've got to probe a little bit. Even if you're building your troops, take a cheaper unit. Like if he's going American, take a rear echelon unit. They don't have to be anything effective. They can be stuff that you don't have to have for your push. Oh, here comes the tank. But I was like, start probing. Just see what's going on. Don't sit around and do nothing. And there's that, look at that. That flak and panzer. It's absolute. Is that flak and panzer? Yeah, flak panzer. Not flak and, but flak panzer. Absolutely coming in. Now, these guys have the anti-tank ability. And they're not doing a ton of damage, but they are doing some. My engineers are in bad shape here. And I think I tell these guys, hide behind the dead tank. Save yourselves. Flak and Panzers going after my mortar crew. That's a very smart idea. My anti-tank gun's here. They're still fighting. So, anti-tank gun, good hit. My tank just showed up, which I have a... This is the 85 we talked about. It's even better than the 76. So that was a good trade there. I am more than happy to take that. And I think that's something he saw in the Fed. Oh my goodness, that's bad. He's got 2 tanks. Little does he know, I have 3. One of which is formerly German. So, taking back our fuel. We need, I mean, I say we need it, but we have 437. I need manpower. That's what I really need. What makes me mad is the amount of munitions here, because I have no way of using munitions. None. So, I mean, the marked vehicle. Targeted vehicle subject to an increase in focus fire from nearby friendly forces. Wow, I can use that 80? That's amazing. I can use that like 14 times, 15 times with how much munitions I have. You know, yeah. No. So I've got my, oh yeah, I went ahead and bought a light scout car because I thought I'm going to get to as much pop as I can. Because when I make this push, I'm going to use as much as I possibly have. So I went ahead and bought the scout car. It's probably an idiotic idea, especially with how much stuff he has, but you know what? Let's see how effective it worked out. I had fuel, right? So didn't really cost me much. That scout car was 15 fuel and 190 manpower. The manpower is probably more painful. These guys I was trying to push up and see if I could catch that last squad, but there was no way on earth I was going to be able to do that. I probably shouldn't have pushed up like that. His mortars, look at his mortars. Golly, so annoying. That new mortar pit's back. Man. That was bad, comrade. Alright. So, if it were you, where would you attack when you launch an offensive here? Would you push right up in the center? Would you go south? Would you try to push through the north and push south? What would you do? Because I know what I did. I remember what I did. But I'm just curious what you would do. And I know that YouTube videos are fantastic. What would you do? It's like, well, I do this. And it's like, oh, well, the video's not over yet, so why would I comment? Why would I write that down? Well, I don't know. Maybe because you like listening to the beauty of my voice. I don't know. But what I do know is I was almost at 100 pop. I wanted my Katushka rocket back. Because I thought, I want this thing. I lost some infantry here, and I thought I'm going to make him pay for that infantry with a Katushka. Because he hated it last time. I have 3 tanks. We're going in, and here it goes. There's a push up here. He's got his tank here. I used my guards to kind of get a feeler around. I wanted him to feel like I was pushing in the north because I wanted to overwhelm the south. So here it comes. Right up the center. I said south. I meant center. My mistake. So he has a tank. He's got a Bazooka. He's got an anti-tank gun. And here it comes. Look at this. He is absolutely annihilating the tank there. What a fight. Rear armor hit. This is the better of the tanks. That's my Panther 4. Couple of rear armor hits. Let's take out that half-track, boys. Brought his other tank in. That's a problem for me. Took out an anti-tank gun. That's a plus. Meanwhile, we're taking the main point. Focusing down that tank. Rear armor hit. That's bad. And there it goes. What a fight. Didn't even take out the
We are
half-track.
suffering vehicle losses.
Massive losses. And here comes the Katushka. Thank goodness we got that one half-track. Problem is, what happens when I do that? He's like, hey, I'm just going to drive into your base again. Of course. I brought up my anti-tank gun, but of course I can't do anything with this. So that's also a problem. But look at that. We were nearly at 100 pop. Now it's 65. He's very much hurt as well. And the worst part is, I never used my scout car.
Ready for orders.
You are ready for orders, comrade. It's like, you were supposed to attack. I know I didn't tell you to do that, but take some initiative. Well, that's a bummer. So look at what I'm holding this point with. I have an MG, and I have an anti-tank gun.
Capturing supply
So,
sector.
I decided, you know what, the middle did not work at all. We're going to try the scout car and take the bottom. Let's just take the bottom. Oh, look at all these MGs. You know what? We're going to take these guys out.
The enemy has killed another infantry squad.
I lost the infantry squad due to one of their super good nades. I forget what kind of nade that was. It's like the cluster one. I don't remember. Anyway, so taking this point, I don't know why that MG crew is not shooting on these guys, but I neutralized this point, which to me made me very happy because he's not taking. Of course, they died to the Panther Shreks. Don't blame them at all. I was like, we neutralize this point. That's buying time. I got my new T-34 on the line. That's a plus. Now he's getting a new tank, and this is a better tank I've ever had. One unit, come on, guys, use that flamethrower. Take him out. Take him out. Hello, flamethrower. Flamethrower, come in. Flamethrower. Flamethrower, come in. I guess he just wants to be a nice guy. He says, you know what? I don't think it's nice to burn anyone. So the other guy gets killed. He's pinned, and then I tell him to get out of there. Honestly, yeah, I know I have to say though because I paid for the munitions, but come on, man. Should have taken out that unit. Alright, so they retook the point. I imagine my mortars killed that MG, which is why it's there. Yeah, he used to have 4 of those MG crews. Now he's got 2, one of which is severely injured. Irony here is he doesn't have much infantry at all. Yeah, both these MG crews, actually, now that I think about it, are at the south. One was in this building, and the other one he moved up to cover that. So, I didn't realize it, but he's got 75 pop, but one of those is because he has this Panther. Oh man, Panthers are pretty good. So, I'm using his tactic, I'm using smoke. I didn't realize how many troops I had in comparison to him. The thing is, I think if it wasn't for his MGs, I would have been holding the point much better. The problem is, his MGs, I mean, give him credit where credit's due. This is a problem. Look at this Panther. He's like, you know what? You're no good at this game, dude. He shot me at my tank. I knew where he was headed. It was like, get out of dodge. Go, 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 go. Just bypasses everything. Bye, truck. Man, those things are so expensive, too. Duck before retreat. Well, we got our wish. So, tanks driving through each other. Of course, that's totally natural. Alright. Anti-tank gun anywhere? Nope. And it fell back. And he got away. He got away with literal murder. And now I have to repair. We're trying to take this point. I can't because he's got MGs. I do have a mortar crew. One mortar. Right here. They're doing their job. He has 1 mortar half-track left. I didn't realize that, but that's got to be for the fuel. How much do those cost? 30 fuel. So he has 30 fuel. Or they cost 30 fuel. He has enough for it. Yeah, there you go. He got another. It was the manpower. See, we're both struggling with manpower. So he's making a push. My big anti-tank gun, thankfully, was here. Got a good hit on him. I said a good hit because it wasn't multiples. Some reason that crew just said, "Hey, we're out. We're good." I was not happy about that. So doing the rifle shots, which helps. I brought in my very damaged Panther, while I was on Panther. My very damaged tank to try to chase him down, and he got away. And I thought, I don't know where anti-tank guns are. I don't know where his other tanks are because he's got more than that tank. I do not need to be losing one of my few tanks because they just cost so much manpower. Because like I said, fuel is cheap, but it's 300 manpower for the Germans. Hello, Germans. The German tanks. Goodness gracious. The German tanks. There we go. Okay, so the Germans have... No. Oh well, I forget how to do that. I know I'm probably annoying you right now. hey dude, all you have to do is do such and such and it works. Like, nah, no, I'm just not any good at it. Okay. Casting, it's kind of new for me too, casting a little bit, so I know there's a way to select it, I just don't remember which. Enemies revealed. Yeah, he's making another push up the middle with only assault infantry unit, which is very good. Hey, at least my MG is still hanging around. There's one guy left hanging around. They almost got that tank. He so should have pushed me here with his tanks.
T-34 ready for combat.
So I got a new T-34. That grenade kills that MG, which ironically saved my tank. He has 2 guys left and they fell back. That was close. Of course, at this point, I mean, he has his anti-tank guns that are on defense. He's winning the game. Okay? This is what I like about Company of Heroes. Is you only win points if you hold the majority of victory points, right? So just because I hold 1 doesn't mean I'm still doing damage to him. And I like that about this game because it means that you have to actually be winning. Okay, I should have been paying attention to my own game. Anyway, so I made a push in the south because the center obviously was not going to work. And I have one of the big T-34s. Still have the one in the middle tank. I'm getting around behind this guy, and I got him. Like, I'm going to kill him in the last thing I did. So taking this point, kind of pinned by the MG, it's going the wrong way. I got a rear armor hit, and I thought, let's take out the half-track over here. Got the half-track. Very well played, if I do say so myself. We're pinned here, get out, try to take that point back. I lost this, and it was disabled, which means he could take it back. But now I took a point. Now at this time, he's starting to lose points again. Okay? And that's what I really need. Then I saw all that went down, and I said, hey, you know what? He's injured. He's a lot weaker than I thought. Let's go ahead and send this tank in. Not a bad idea. Of course, he missed that shot. And I was facing the wrong way, so his anti-tank gun shifts. I have to get around behind that anti-tank gun, but it's like, kill this tank. Kill this tank. Got it. So, like, there's another tank. Okay, let's just get out of here, though. So, of course, I'm running, and I'm out of control. Like, dang it. And these guys were following because I told them to repair the tank, and I didn't realize. I was like, what are these guys doing? But they're actually causing some mayhem, which I didn't realize they were doing. I mean, they were actually killing guys. Mortar shells were coming in on them. Like, fall back! Fall back! They're retaking this point. My guards. Did I lose this unit? Ooh, almost did it. He's chasing him down. That's really smart, by the way. Chasing him down. Yeah, he killed him. That was good. So, while that's all going on, though, I have my other guards unit here. But his mortar is still there. Mortar's still doing its job. And I should have been smoking that point in hindsight. I really should have. That was so bad. Anyway, it's neutralized, so it buys me time. Time. And I was thinking, man alive, he is kicking my butt. I have so little going on here. You know, on the right, I've got 2 guards units, 1 conscripts units, and a couple engineers. What's funny is this one guy up here, he is defending this point solo up here. I just couldn't afford to bring him back home. I didn't have the manpower to refit him anyway. And I was just, you know what? It doesn't matter. You stay up there. And was that the best choice? Probably not, but you know, better nothing. So anyway, I decided to stage up at the bottom because he keeps mortaring everywhere else. And I thought, I'm going to hit him again down here because it's been effective. But he's got so many MGs at the center that every time I push up, I lose those guys. Now the good news is he lost one of his MGs, he's down 1 MGs. And I went ahead and told him, I said, this is a good fight, by the way. That's a good fight because he's really giving me what for. And then, of course, I went ahead and attacked. Like, it's time to go. I cannot let him recover. I thought, if I'm hurting like this, he's got to be as well. Good hit. He's building a bunker here, which has not upgraded yet to MG. And still, this is what I'm still in here. Just leaving 1 unit behind, trying to spread out. Good. Flamethrower's here, doing its job. This tank's getting hit, that tank's getting hit. I mean, this is a slugfest. These guys are not at the point, which just is so sad at that point. I lost the engineer unit. I did destroy this. That was good. Lost my tank. Trying to take this point. Very bad attack, if I do say so myself. Moving these guys up. Trying to buy time to neutralize the point, if nothing else. Neutralize the point. You know, they're not pinned yet. They're still fighting. And I neutralized it. I was like, let's go. We're done. We're getting out of here. But I didn't realize that was his last tank. I mean, he's buying a new Panther, the really good one, which is smart. But his infantry is very weak. He's got one anti-tank gun. I'm betting he has nothing elsewhere on the map. Let's take a quick peek. Yeah, the northern side has nothing, and it's basically all trench networks. Although that anti-tank gun there, I did not know about. Ugh. Okay, so at this point, I mean, look at what I have. I have one mortar that's very weak. I have one guards unit that is full strength. I have 3 on another guard unit that's being refitted, and a conscript that's being refitted. This mortar team technically should have 6. But I took the gun. I think that was smart, just because he's had his tanks in combat so much. And I think at this point, I just fell all the way back. If I recall, I think I just pulled back. I got a new T-34. These are the heavier ones. These are the ones that cost more fuel, and I got it because I've got fuel. So if I'm going to use the manpower, I might as well. Let me see if the manpower is the same on this. Manpower same. 380 versus 300. But it's been getting into a slugfest, which I really, really wanted to keep doing. I wanted, if my tank's going to be in that kind of fight, it needs to be the better kind. I think it was worth the investment. But I mean, look at this. He was under 100 points, and I was at 400 something. I am losing this game. I mean, technically, I'm winning, but I haven't held this point in the last, I want to say, I don't remember, but probably the last 25 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe 35. I haven't done much. So I got my mortar in. I was like, destroy this building, please. I'm sick and tired of that MG in there. So just destroy this building. And I was pushing. Like, I'm not going to give him time to react, so I'm pushing. I didn't realize he had a Panther on the field and 2 mortar things again, but it is what it is. So he got another MG down here. He's got a Panther Shrek team. Annoying. Now look at that. Now I brought up my anti-tank gun. That helps. That does help. It's not perfect, and he sees that. He's not an idiot, but I targeted the weaker one. It's like, just destroy this one, please. I lost my mortar team due to his mortars. Lovely. Alright, and this is one of those. This is my first time playing online with the Russians. And so I'll make a mistake here. I remember this mistake because I learned my lesson. And it looks like he's destroying my anti-tank gun at the same time. This tank is damaged. I'm gonna die. Out of control. That's a bummer. But I brought in a cheaper one. I said, you know what? We aren't giving up here. I'm taking this thing out. Lost my artillery. That guy just missed. Rear armor hit from the front. I think it's a type of damage done rather than actual damage. So, slugfest. If I had known, I would have used the ram thing. I was trying to figure out how to ram up here. But I was too close. I didn't know that that's how it worked. I had to live and learn that one. So, I think this tank's gonna die. He's mad at my tank here. There it goes. So I did ram it a little late though, and of course, then he killed my crew with his anti-tank gun. So, all told, was that a good fight? I don't think so. Look at it. He's got 2 anti-tank guns again. He's got 2 MGs. His infantry is pretty hurt, but he's got 2 mortars and 1 full tank. What do we have? What do we have back at base? We have a guard unit that is being refitted. I have 2 full infantry, and then the north is protected by this one hero. The one hero of the Soviet Union. I mean, it's only fair. So, at this point, I'm like, I can't believe it. I'm going to lose when he's got 43 points left, and I had like 400 points left. I am going to lose this game. Now, a lot of people would surrender at this point because it just absolutely got annihilated. But like I said in one of the earlier videos, I don't want to just give up, right? I don't want to just say, oh, you won, good game. Because let's say he's having the game of his life. Oh, this is fantastic. I can't believe I'm coming back from this, blah, blah, blah. If he's having the game of his life, I don't want to quit and him be like, oh, man, I wish I could have finished that game. Because it was so close and I wanted to actually follow that through. And I think that was fair. I try to do that. I do compliment people by saying, you know, this is a good fight. You know, I'm having fun. It's tough. It's not easy. But at the same time, when I'm losing and all that, I don't want to just give up, because I think that's not fair to other people. Now, obviously, sometimes if I've got a limited amount of time and I've only got like an hour or so to play, and I start off a match and they just outplay me and I lose all my guys, I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm going to recover from this, then I won't. Okay, so this is actually kind of fun here. I start taking this point, and I'm like, oh man, he's trying to just kill me here. So I send both these units up here. I decide I am going to demolish them. I'm going to hit them hard where I can. He's pushing infantry in here to look at my mortars. I'm moving my tank around. I bet I lose these mortars. Oh, he retreats. Good, good, good. I come up here, and I'm not going to let him take my point. Not under life. I think he loses this unit, probably because he's telling his mortars to shell. Yeah. He was telling them to shell that. I don't know where my mortar team went. Yeah, I just told him, get out of here. I don't care where you go, just go. So I retake this point. I spread them out because I didn't want to get hit and lose all of them because of one lucky mortar round or good grenade, so I spread them out. But look at this. Over the last 5 minutes, I've lost probably 100 points. Nah, maybe not that much. A good amount of points. Maybe 50 points. 75. I'll just keep making up numbers. But I've lost a lot of points. And this is where this guy is, you know, a hero of the Soviet Union. Because I noticed that Boris keeps putting his guys on the same spot on this point because he's afraid I'm on the north. And I say, you know what, you move up here, and I want you, since guess who has a surplus of munitions, I want you to put a demolition charge. So he sets up with a flamethrower on his back. He says, I am going to put this charge here. And there it is. There's that charge. It's hidden. It's detonating. I know he placed it here and then teleported over there, but that's okay. And I need him to move back. Go, go. Go, 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 go. Oh, okay. It is what it is. Anyway, mortars are at it again, shooting at each other. I got my anti-tank tank because he's got these Panthers running around. Now it looks like he's pulling in, not a mortar half-track, but one of the Nebel Warfare half-tracks. So I decided around this time that even though my infantry's under attack and stuff, I thought, let's just start probing to the north. You know? What is the worst thing that happens if I push to the north? Right? I'm losing the game anyway. So, let's push here. Let's push the north side of this point. He's got that. Start taking this point. Let's get these mortars into action. Hopefully they're putting smoke up there. There we go. We got that smoke going. That is so important. And there we go. Neutralize point. And there goes Nebel Warfare. We all know where that's headed. We're pinned. Yeah, of course you're pinned. Should be dead. But I pushed on the north side too. Look at this fight. He's moving his MG up to support, but now he's got to deal with these guys in his backfield because I'm moving them up. These guys work to destroy that MG pit because mortars are trying to take me out, as they should. But I thought I have to spread this fight out. I cannot keep doing what I was doing. We have to spread this out because if I keep doing what I'm doing, I will lose. My tank took a hit from his anti-tank gun. That is a very good anti-tank gun. Again, more smoke. More smoke. I'm taking this point. I thought, if I am going to win this game, I have to take this point now. These mortars are here. I have one of his own bazookas. I'm going to take a shot at it. And never mind, not at those. I'm going to take a shot at this. I think that was originally my plan, and I just told you the wrong thing. Alright, so now he's bringing this up here. I think he's tired of my mortar using the smoke. He's getting around behind me. Of course, this tank moves ridiculously slow. Good rear armor hit. I don't think he can afford those types of hits. So, I thought, he can't take my mortars. I took this point. I cannot let this go. Missed. Bad shot. Keep going. Keep going. And I was like, I'm holding the point. I don't want to lose my tank. I don't have the munitions to replace this thing, but at the same time, I can't really let him get away. But then he got away back to his base, and I thought, as far as I know, he's got an anti-tank gun in there, and I lose my for no reason, but we've got to circle around and go after these mortar half-tracks. Time to hit the mortar half-tracks. I mean, this guy's right up a lifetime. He's like, whoa! And I saw this, and I thought, oh, no. You've got to be kidding me. You know? And bing, wow, a rear armor hit. So he got away, but
Lost one of our armored vehicles.
I did lose an armored vehicle. I think it was right there, yeah. Because I kept it parked. This thing is pretty nice, because if you stop in one of their sectors, it will kill you.
We have nearly won. The
It's really
enemy is
nice,
down to
actually.
25 points.
Those are pretty nice. I think the British have it. I don't have all the commanders unlocked, so anyway, I left these 3 guards here because I thought if he moves an MG over here again, I'm gonna throw a nade at him, wipe him out. But I'm taking this point. I'm winning the game. He's at 21. This is excellent. We've got a shot here. He's pushing up here. I'm not 100% sure why, other than probably trying to just mortar me to death again. Don't blame him. Don't blame him at all. He keeps moving. I'm keeping my distance, or not keep my distance. I'm trying to keep close so his nades are most effective. But that was a good kill. That was a good kill. More combat engineers. I think at this point I'm just purchasing anything that's cheap. Oh, actually they're to repair this, but I'm pulling it up. I mean, we're at the end of the game here. I mean, not really for me. I guess I could have stayed longer, grabbed the MG. He put his MG42 up here. He's retaking that point. These guards need to push in, but they can't. He's got more Katushkas, or not Katushkas, Nepal killed that MG, pinned 2 units. Look at that. Like, you gotta be kidding me, man. So I'm still on this point. No one's taking anything. No points are doing anything. This is keeping it completely neutralized. And that's okay. Bringing up these infantry that got pinned a second ago. Like, I am going to get in here. I'm going to throw some nades on this MG. I know it's here. There goes the nade. Killed one. He still survives. Oh, for crying out loud. Get up here and kill this guy. There goes another. Alright, the nade's out. Now I'm neutralizing it and retaking it, but I've got 2 guys left. Like, I can't stay here. They will all die. So the point's completely neutralized. That really was not good for me. But the good news is I have more infantry. I started bringing more infantry. So they were hanging out back here. That's what I started doing was if it's over, fight over the points in 1 unit at a time. Just one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. He's bringing a Panther out. He's bringing more stuff out. He's getting ready for this fight. Because he's got 10 points left. If I take this, he should lose the game. But as we've seen, he's in the last 100 has cost me like 400 points. Not quite, but pretty close. And there he is. He's retaking it already. Now the time it takes you to retake these points is, I mean, he's got probably blitzkrieg tactics or something on those guys. But he didn't neutralize the point, which just absolutely floored me. I'm like, what are you doing? But he sent this one guy in here. And it looks like one guy will capture as fast as the whole unit. So Molotov was a good Molotov. I was trying to take the point. 3 men left, and he's taking it. There's not much I can do. There's not much I can do. Look at this. I'm bringing him back. That unit has been a thorn in my side for the entire game. More Molotovs. Again, it's another miss. But he has to stay in this point. We're now at the point of the game where if he retreats at all, he loses. But look at that cluster charge thing. I have 6 men here. Now we're down to 3. So bad for me. Look at all that smoke. Both sides don't want our guys to die. Both sides do not want our guys to die. But he's taking the point. I'm not in the sector. I'm not there. So I'm pushing up again. He took that point. He's now putting fire on there. Because if I go in there and try to capture that point, I will die. And it's just, to me, it was kind of unbelievable. It's like, he's at 3 points. 3. Like, what on earth am I supposed to do to combat that? So, of course, I start to use my mortars, as I should. He picked up the MG. I don't know if that was on purpose. That may have been an accident. I think that wasn't a good idea. But it is what it is. He moves his Panther up, which this is a good fight. Oh, excellent mortar hits. I'm pushing back here, try to take that point. Look at this. Oh my goodness. He's totally gonna blow me. I picked up this gun. It's been here the whole game. Just to hit this point. Like, yes, good. One more hit, one more hit. There we go. Took out the Panther. That was unfortunate for him. I lost that unit, but I'm trying to retake this point now. Take the point. If I take it once, I win. If I take this point once, I win. This thing is doing well here. I don't have any Katushkas. I don't remember what he's doing there. Probably just trying to stop my flow of reinforcements. Yep, wiped out a unit. He's going to push me off the point here. And if I take this, like I said, I lose. Now look at that anti-tank gun. Clutch anti-tank gun stopping me from getting on the point. Well played. He's got his tank sitting here. There's nothing I can do. He knows all my anti-tank guns are down.
The enemy has killed another infantry.
They killed that entire unit because I tried to leave it there. These three guys are now actually one. He's dead. Lost another unit. So I have a mortar. I've got this. Of course, this is like my most experienced unit. I'm bringing up another infantry unit, trying to take out that anti-tank gun. This tank is a problem. I'm pinned. And they, golly, he must be using some sort of HE. And I think I lose. Yeah, my most experienced unit is gone. It is gone, outright gone. Okay, I'm picking up the anti-tank gun here. We got to deal with this anti-tank, or this tank, take it out, shoot it if we can. Good hit. Come on, fire, 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 fire. Good hit. Okay, actually not a hit. It's just a hit at all. I'm happy about that. And of course, kill that. Okay, that's a bummer. Three guys get on point. I meant to pick up that anti-tank gun, but I picked up that MG. I still remember doing that. I was like, really? I don't need an MG right now. I need an anti-tank gun. So again, the point was neutralized. He retook that point. I did throw a grenade, killed him there. And start trying to take the point. He's going after my mortar team. That's a really good idea because, I mean, right now I'm pinned. I haven't actually neutralized the point, and he called in that strike, which thankfully I avoided. So he just got me. I've got 3 units, a total of looks like 8 guys on the field at all. I'm trying to keep my mortar crew alive at my own base right now.
We have a new SU-85 to deploy.
I mean, I'm running around trying to refit. I got my new anti-tank tank. I think this may have been where he kind of messed up a little bit. Because, I mean, that was a good hit, but this thing will destroy the tank. What's that pin before? Yeah. Yeah, that was unfortunate for him. I think that was a bummer. Yeah, everything else he has mortars. Tons of mortars. So that was a bummer. If he had waited, I don't know if I would have been able to fight that off. But he started shelling my base. That's how far he pushed up. What's funny is this lone guy up here is still defending this point. So he pushed forward, I had to push forward. I don't know why that tank keeps missing like that. But I was like, I am not going to surrender when all I need is 3 points. I'm not. I thought this is a trap and a half. Like, this is such a trap, such a trap, such a trap. SU-85, how big is that gun? Yeah, I took another hit probably from the anti-tank gun.
We are down to 75 points.
Yeah, 75 points. He's going to win this with 3 left in the bank. He's got a new Panther coming out. I mean, come on. That is ridiculous for me. I can't even repair this tank. I don't have time. I have to take 1 point. That's all I need to do is take 1 point. It doesn't matter. Just 1. So I've got a new mortar crew. Yay! They're guards infantry that had taken that mortar and I refit them. I wonder if that costs the same as guards. So anyway, more smoke on the point. It's the only way to do it. I don't have time to mess around anymore. I actually have to take this point pretty much now. He brings up an MG. Smart move. I mean, it's the only infantry I think he has available because the other one's been repairing stuff. And then, of course, I threw a hand grenade, dropped him down to 1. I was like, I can take this out. And another tank.
Engineers ready for assignment.
I thought that was a Panther. My bad. That's the Stug. The Stugenhofer. So, neutralize the point. At least I'm not losing points anymore. He pushed me hard here. He picked up his MG again with his not conscripts, with his pioneers. Smart move. I mean, but I'm like, I've got to keep pushing this point. I cannot lose this at the last minute. So I block it. And I'm throwing that Molotov. He knows what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. But thankfully, I think I wiped out that supply. There we go. It wipes that. But I have to retreat. The smoke's gone. And he's got a tank. He's building another fighting position. He's got his mortars, more fighting positions. Just, you're killing me, man. So, would you guys resign at this point? Would you resign? I wouldn't, obviously. Because, like I said, I don't think it's nice. And more importantly, I think it's important for a fun game. I mean, this is a close game. He has not retaken the point, and at the time I was like, why isn't he retaking this point? I mean, I'm not going to let him know, but I don't think he had anyone available. I mean, this MG crew is probably the one's going to move up and do that. So he's smoking it, and look at this. He takes this. He's starting to take this with this MG squad, right where it was. Boom. Unit is wiped out. Yes, yes. Engineer, you're amazing. Put another one of those charges. That had to make him upset, and I mean that. I think I'd be a little bit upset too. I'd be like, really? I just lost to that. Like, come on. It's so frustrating. But look at all these mortars he's got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those mortars. So he pushed forward a little too far. My anti-tank, I guess self-propelled gun or whatever that is. It's not a self-propelled gun. It's a tank destroyer. He brought up his anti-tank gun here. So it was an anti-tank tank battle. But he's got this thing here. So it scored a good hit there. Come on. Throw a Molotov on him. What's wrong with you guys? So it's damaged. Watch this. Boom! I lost my tank. I'm like, great. The game is over. But I took out the anti-tank gun. It destroyed me there, and I picked up his anti-tank gun. And I'm like, this tank is not getting away from here. There's no way I'm letting this thing get away. And I don't think he saw it. Yeah, he never saw it coming. So I took that. I was like, I am not leaving. I'm pulling more infantry in while I am leaving. Don't know what that pin was. Was that me? No. Anyway, like me right now. Look at all these things. He's got all these mortars right here. I've now got my guys, this anti-tank gun shooting here. If I take this, like I said, the game is over. Look at that. Destroyed that one. Guy is still there. I was like, you're staying. And that is game, my friends. Look at that. What a fight. What an absolute battle that was. And I mean, this one I was thinking, I'm going to play just a very quick game. This isn't going to take that long. An hour and 15 minutes later, oh yeah. It took a long time. That was a tough fight. So, well played, Boris. Absolutely well played. I mean, this was something else. I'm not kidding. This fight was really tough. He played so well. And I actually think that if he hadn't let me hold those 3 points at the beginning as long as I did, and had just been a slightly bit more aggressive, there's no way I would have won. Because I was down to 39 points. I mean, it's just... This was such a slugfest. I mean, look at the landscape here. But anyway, I digress. Let's look at some stats here. Let's see what we got going on. Again, well fought. Good game all around. It's just... Whew. I watch that and I just think, holy moly, look at that anti-tank gun. My most valuable unit had 11,000 damage dealt, killed 7 things, probably different vehicles. Damage taking 1,800. So it died 9 times. Okay, that's how many times his mortars were absolutely destroying me. This veteran squad was the one that died probably in the last few minutes. They did well. Just tons of conscripts. Look at the number of kills, 57. Let's look at the overview. He killed 343 of my units. 343. I killed 185. That is ridiculous, the number of casualties. I mean, to be fair, maybe this is just a good representation of the Eastern Front. I don't know. But all told, it was well fought all sides. Army values, you can see that I took a beating about midway through the game, and he just, I mean, he played well. I just think he lost too many points this early on. I mean, he had a more valuable army than I did most of the game. Resource float, this is my munitions. That's solely the munitions and fuel. And of course, points held. Look at that. It was a zigzag. There was almost no give and take at all in there. It was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So, well played. Yeah, units and construction. I don't think y'all really care about that. But good game, Boris. Good game. And as for you guys, thank you for watching. Please feel free to leave me a comment and just let me know what you think. Let me know what I could have done better. Let me know how to play the Russians. Just say, hey, you know what? The Soviets would be better if you did such and such. So, anyway, good game, and thank y'all for watching.